Loki breathes his last on Svartalfheim, his final act not a clever illusion, but a true, irreversible end. Thor, forever marked by loss, faces a future with no brother, no trickster, no second chances. But what if this one death changed the destiny of Asgard and stopped Ragnarok before it began? In the sacred timeline, Thor: The Dark World delivers one of the MCU's greatest fake-outs. When Loki seemingly sacrifices himself to save Thor, we see what looks to be the end of the god of mischief, only for the credits to reveal his survival and secret masquerade as Odin. Loki's deception sets up his indirect rulership of Asgard and paves the path for Thor Ragnarok's chaos. Now imagine this: the blade pierces deeper, the coughs of blood more desperate, but this time, the illusion fades not to trickery, but to finality. Loki does not feign death, he dies for real, in Thor's arms, with no schemes left and no magic to revive him. This fatal moment is pivotal. Loki's survival has rippled through every phase of the MCU, from his pose as Odin, to unwittingly unleashing Hela, to forging that precarious alliance that united Thor, Valkyrie, and Hulk. Loki's death here severs all these threads, rewriting the future of Asgard, the Infinity Saga, and the fate of the Avengers themselves. We pivot to a new choice. Loki dies on Svartalfheim, Air and Asgard's healers arriving too late. There's no secret return, no hidden Odin. The god of mischief is truly gone, and with him Asgard's future takes a sharp turn. Thor is shattered, tears streaming down his face. Sif, the Warriors 3, and even Jane Foster mourn the unthinkable. Odin, upon learning the news, is consumed by guilt and rage, seeing both sons lost to his mistakes. Asgard reels from the loss, not just of a prince, but of possibility itself. Loki's funeral, a somber public ceremony, cements his end. Odin never banished nor replaced. The Bifrost remains under Heimdall's watch alone. Malekith is defeated as before, but no shadowy Loki pulls the strings for behind the throne. Peace in Asgard seems newly fragile, for the youngest Odin son is gone. Without hope for future redemption, Thor spirals into lasting grief, no longer buoyed by rivalry or the promise of another reunion. His heart hardens, his sense of duty intensifies, but his warmth dims. Odin, lacking Loki's mischievous spark, becomes withdrawn, facing his failures as a father. Frigga's death and Loki's loss weigh endlessly on Thor's soul. With the real Odin present, Asgard is ruled benevolently, but burdened by grief. The ruse that allowed Hela's return in Ragnarok never unfolds. Odin ultimately chooses to reveal the secret to Thor after Loki's funeral, preparing him, but not abdicating in disguise. Asgard readies for new threats, not internal collapse. Thor's arc is forged in guilt and loss, not rivalry. He doesn't abandon Asgard searching for answers. He stays, driven by the need to honor his brother and mother. Loki's absence leaves a hole. No ambiguous anti-hero for Thor, no dazzling team dynamic for the Avengers, no unlikely second chance for redemption. Instead, Thor grows more kingly, but colder. In this timeline, Thor and Odin's bond is strained, united by mourning rather than reconciliation. Without Loki, the Avengers see Thor as more stoic and resolved, but less humorous and less tending toward found family warmth. Jane drifts further from Thor, his emotional fortress leaving little space for mortal love. The Tesseract and Aether still come into play, but with Loki gone, Asgard's vault faces one less threat. The Space Stone stays protected. Odin never unwittingly sets up Hela's return, indirectly keeping the stones out of Thanos' easy reach for a while longer. Asgard's relative stability prevents Ragnarok, but this also makes Asgard a bright, tempting target. Surtur is never released, but Thanos sees opportunity in a grieving but undestroyed realm. Meanwhile, Midgardian crises, the Ultron incident and later Civil War, proceed largely unchanged, but Thor is less involved, drawn ever deeper into Asgardian defense. Thor's heroism is now peppered with nihilism, his jokes turned brittle. His fighting is fiercer, but lacks the gleeful edge he shared with Loki or Hulk. Without Loki's redemption arc, there's no trickster turned hero, only legends of the villain who almost changed. With Asgard standing strong and united, Earth looks elsewhere for cosmic defense. Valkyrie, not drawn into Thor's orbit by a revenger's quest, might never rise to lead Asgard's refugees. The Bifrost remains unbroken, a tool for both good and evil. The lack of Ragnarok means Asgard's full force could eventually meet Thanos head-on. The Black Order's attack still comes, but Asgard isn't already broken. Thor, forged by trauma but ever the protector, stands between his people and annihilation, without a brother to share the burden, or the risk. When Thanos comes for the Infinity Stones, he finds a defiant, intact Asgard. This time, Odin and Thor fight together. Without Loki to gift the Tesseract, Thanos must extract it by force, unleashing war upon a powerful realm. The fighting is catastrophic. Odin might fall, but not before inflicting grievous losses. Do Asgardians attempt to destroy the stones outright, risking cosmic imbalance, or defend them fiercely until their last breath? Thor now faces an impossible choice: protect his people at all costs, or risk universal calamity by keeping the stones safe on Asgard. Asgard's skies crackle with energy as Thanos' armies descend, the Battle of Asgard, replacing Ragnarok's fiery doom. Thor, wielding both hammer and rage, pushes Thanos further than in the sacred timeline. But without Loki's cunning, no escape is brokered. The Asgardian people suffer heavier losses as the Infinity War takes an even higher toll. Odin likely falls defending the vault. The Tesseract is pried from Asgard's ruins, but at great cost. Thor's survivors are scattered even further. Fewer escape, and Thor's guilt deepens. The snap still comes, but its emotional weight on Thor is compounded by the earlier, ultimate losses. Both Loki and Odin, gone forever. In the new reality, Thor walks a lonelier path. Valkyrie becomes a leader of what's left of a devastated people, but Asgard's power is spent. With Odin dead and Loki never returning, a battered Thor eventually rejoins the Avengers, now a haunted king, not the reckless thunder god of old. Thor's endgame arc is darker, his hope for redemption nearly broken. Instead of bonding with a resurrected brother, he stands alone against Thanos, every victory tinged with what was lost. Loki's story becomes legend, not a living redemption. The Avengers persevere, but the team's spirit is colder. Less family, more soldiers. The Nine Realms, with Asgard more scarred than destroyed, grapple with greater instability. Thanos' victory is harder won, his conquest bloodier. The stones are scattered anew, some perhaps lost forever, shifting the cosmic balance in unpredictable ways. New players, like the Grandmaster or Enchantress, could rise in the power vacuum. Averting Ragnarok saved Asgard's legacy, but cost its soul. Thor loses not just a brother, but a sense of hope in the impossible. The snap, still coming, hits a universe already plunged into deeper mourning. Was it worth it? So better or worse? This world is more stable, but more sorrowful. The absence of Loki denies us his redemption, wit, and last-minute heroism. Asgard survives, but at great emotional and cosmic cost. The Avengers are functional, not familial. The saga of two brothers ends in tragedy, not bittersweet alliance. This timeline reveals how one life, one often resented brother, can shift destinies. Loki's presence, for all its chaos, actually kept Thor soft, hopeful, ready to take chances. Thor's greatest victories and failures stemmed from that belief in his brother's potential for change. A single death leads to colder hearts, altered battles, and the fleeting prevention, but not avoidance, of universal catastrophe. Loki's true passing changes not just Thor, but the cosmos itself. The sacred timeline's genius lies in its celebration of even flawed family bonds. It showed us that redemption is always possible, that heroes need not be perfect, and that the trickster's heart could, in the end, turn the tide of fate. Do you think Thor would have become a better king, or a broken one, without Loki's chance at redemption? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. As we close the branches on this broken family tree, remember the smallest choice sends tremors through the multiverse. Sometimes, the death of a villain is the death of hope itself. Thanks for traveling this timeline with us. The next time you see Loki on screen, remember what his survival truly meant for Thor and for all of us. What if Yondu never saved Peter Quill from Ego's plan? Subscribe and join us for the next Marvel Parallel Worlds deep dive.